939.85 billion naira. That's the size of the 2026 budget Governor Okpebholo presented on Tuesday on the floor of the State House of Assembly. The budget christened Budget of Hope and Growth for Edo State promises improved agriculture, economic growth, infrastructure, health, security, and more. Beyond the applause on the floor of the State House of Assembly, today we present the budget before the microscopic scrutiny of one of the governor's most vocal critics. Good afternoon and welcome to Political Insights. My name is Jude Agweke. We are joined here in the studio by Comrade Chedrak Udugbai. He was an aide to former Governor Godwin Obaseki. Comrade Udugbai. Good afternoon.
It's a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much. The pleasure is mine.
So, we've seen the budget.
Yes.
About ₦1 trillion.
Yeah.
Inarguably the largest in the history of the state. Do you think the state government, led by Governor Okpebholo, has the capacity to fund the budget, or it's another avenue to plunge the state into debt, just like your boss who plunged the state into 600 something billion naira debt before jetting out to Europe for meet and greet?
First of all, I've expressed it time with our numbers that Governor Obaseki did not owe 600 billion naira debt. The debt was about 400 billion. And that debt, about 200 or something billion, was held up from Adam Sali Oshomole before he left office.
According to reports.
No, reports have it clear.
Report says the asset verification committee.
Are you aware that Okpebholo also borrowed?
Government.
Okay, let's. Asset value says 600 billion.
Yes.
Did they tell you that Okpebholo also borrowed 100 billion this year when he got approved for the House of Assembly? Are you aware, as a journalist, that was given approval by the State House of Assembly led by Blessing Abegbaku to borrow 100 billion? That was shortly before they did their Supreme Court judgment.
Yes.
If the debt Edo is owing now, Okpebholo added 100 billion, or is that 100 billion outside the one Obaseki borrowed, or he has added it to it? I want you to understand. A governor came into, did he tell how much did Governor Obaseki leave for Okpebholo when he came into office? Do you have an idea of this? He left about 60 billion.
Let's not delve into that because your boss is not the topic of discussion. We'll delve into that subsequently. Now let's talk about the budget. Tell me.
Okay, the budget, first of all, like you asked, the budget is a sham. And this is a sham. It can't stand. The budget is not real. It's a fluke. It's a fake budget. It's a budget that will end up being the government will virtually go home to borrow to fund. What this is going to get the money? 939 billion, 850 million. They cleaned all those, the thousands, the naira, and the kobo so that they will to pronounce it properly. Because there's no budget in Nigeria that has a smooth figure. They have to approximate the budget so that Okpebholo will not struggle or the figures will not confuse him.
Why do you think you can pronounce it properly?
He did not pronounce the last one for 2025 budget.
Focus on,
so beyond that, beyond that, beyond that.
Focus on issues.
Okay, listen.
Stop poisoning the well.
Okay, how is it?
Committing the fallacy of poisoning the well.
No, I'm just trying to give you
let's
my observations. If you go, it's funny. If you look at the 939 billion budget, ask him how is he going to fund it. He said he's going to take 480 billion from federal allocation. If you divide 480 billion by 12, you see he's expecting 40 billion from federal allocation monthly. How much is Edo State receiving currently for federal allocation? Last year, as of November, they received 20 billion. And that's the highest they've ever received since the return of democracy in 1999. When Obaseki was there, the highest he received was about 12 or 13 billion. Okpebholo grew to 20 billion. And that was because of the removal of fuel subsidy and other derivations that the government took out. So if Okpebholo is now saying he will be getting 40 billion from federal government every month, is that not a criminal statement? You that is getting 20 billion, that's the highest you have ever gotten. This is November, you got 20 billion at September, maybe 20 billion. So January, the thing should jump to 40 billion. When will you not get the 40 billion? Should the case you are able to meet up now, you now start running to be begging for loan, borrowing money recklessly and helplessly. You draw up a budget that is not real. The IGR, they say we're going to get IGR of 160 billion. Have you asked? Divide 160 billion per 12. That's about 13 billion. As Okpebholo ever raised 13 billion monthly allocation every month, Okpebholo is struggling. Obaseki left it at about 9 billion. Okpebholo is struggling to maintain the 9 billion. He's projected at 13 billion. What did he talk about? He said he'll get the other one, 153 billion naira from a grant. Of course, we'll get from World Bank, all those organizations that are interested in investing money in Nigeria. It may not get to that, but fine, they can assume that want to be anything. Then he said he's going to get public-private partnership 146 billion. For people here. This was the same government that sometime last year came out to say they secured $250 billion, $250 million investment. The one I call the Zoom investment that they went to Scotland to do. $250 million. If you convert $250 million to Naira, that's about 323 billion. 323 billion is what they've secured sometime this year. And today, their public private partnership is now 146 billion. Is it that they throw that money to the well of they finish using it? So let me say to you, that budget is a pure sham, is an attempt to make it look like Edo is prospering, where Edo is currently comatose. Aside the fact allocation that has increased, IGRO is in the mud. Many of those who knows Okpebholo say wants to go and secure, they say he can't even secure those grants. He can't secure the grant because those grants are given to the based on the quality of the government you operate. When we're doing Edo base, it was the international standard as practiced or perhaps stipulated by World Bank. When you start implementing according to their guidelines, they will give you money to implement because they are interested in improving health, education, and other developmental works in Africa. Even the people that cannot organize small civil service or perhaps put one or two together, how will they not acquire those loans? There are grants in the education sector today, but the Okpebholo's government cannot access because of the poor standard of the way they manage the education system. So that budget, whether you like it or not, I saw some of his supporters there celebrating. Mondo Okpebholo is clear. He just told you we get money, $450 million, 450 billion federal allocation, 160 billion from IGRO, the other one PPP, the other one grants and capital receipts. And there's no loan. Mondo Okpebholo does not need loan. Look at this small children. It won't get up 6 months. You can put me on record. 6 months, but the Okpebholo won't do that for 6 months. You won't borrow money. I dare say. And mind you, he's collecting money from local government too. Local government allocation is not being handed over to local. Those chairmen are cronies. Yeah, allegedly. But you can go. Okay, should I tell you why there's proof? All the local government chairmen are cronies of Mondo Okpebholo. There's no vice chairman in Edo State today that was elected, which is an aberration of democracy. They will practically go to the house, pick the leader's son or the leader's daughter, or perhaps the leader's girlfriend. They'll put the party leader's girlfriend to be vice chairman. Somebody that was elected as councillor on Saturday or Monday resumes office as a local government chairman. Are you not seeing the video that they brought when they were celebrating the guy who slapped Abatobase? The local government chairman, the Gabos, the illegal Gabos in Oredo, was the one who donated 200,000 naira. And they instructed all other 6 local government chairmen in Edo State to send 200,000 to that man's account. These things are being used to siphon. They are playing it like children, siphoning the resources and managing it in his back door. There's no meaningful development. There's no project going on. When the outcome became so loud, they started doing a renovation of Ring Road, putting Father Christmas lights and Bisco light and pageantry and Ring Road. Is that what development is all about? So for me, it's a bit shameful that this is where we find ourselves. Where local government at the federal level is suffering due to the cluelessness and ineptitude of Bola Tinubu. In Edo State here, there's practically no governance. What we say is political activism. And the local government is near extinction. Good governance is a holiday as far as Edo State is concerned. Because at the 3 levels, nobody is offering solution at any level.
Yes. Be specific. Which specific revenue line is unrealistic in the budget?
I just told you first. FEC, first of all, both of them, all 4 of them in name, both FAC, IGRO, PP, grant, and capital receipts. He can't meet any of those ones. But Okpebholo cannot. The only thing is grateful for now is that he's receiving a FAC allocation of about 20 billion. He will go and pay salaries of about 3 billion. The remaining 17 billion to Gallivant. And that's why this government has not crumbled. If this government was receiving the kind of federal allocation that Governor Okpebholo received in his own time, before subsidy was removed, I dare say this government would have been in comatose by now. Paying salaries will be practically impossible. It's because of this apparent swollen of the federal allocation account, where they collect their derivation, they share, and they are happy. That's why governor, and perhaps, Mondo Okpebholo is now receiving most times for the amount Governor Obaseki received from federal allocation in carrying out capital infrastructure. But yet, we are seeing less than half of the developmental trajectory that Governor Obaseki instituted. So the man is failing after receiving more. That gives us very good cause of worry. That's why I said that Mondo Okpebholo will end up as a one-term governor. And it's just so sad that there's nothing I can do to kick him out of there because the Supreme Court has reaffirmed him. So we are waiting and we are praying and we are mobilizing, we are conscientizing Edo people. They are come 2028. who sent Mondo Okpebholo back to his village in Iruha to go and continue his ICT guru. Imagine he was ICT guru for entered. To those who don't see any trace of ICT, information communication technology, or anything of such during the course of his administration. But I'm happy that grace has found on him. We will now have an example of where a son of a nobody can become somebody in Nigeria. And someone who perhaps is not intellectually sound, who does not have political history, can come from the relative oblivion to become a governor. And even without understanding what governance is, you can actually govern. So it's a typical example that will be used in the years to come.
What red flags should Edo people look at for the implementation of the budgets?
First of all, they should watch out for the loans, the borrowing that will come immediately after this budget is passed. We all know that the House of Assembly, I dare say, according to the pepper soup House of Assembly, they don't have the requisite competence or character to superintend over the affairs of Edo State government. You know, the legislature, many people don't understand governance. That's the problem we have. Because I understand, it pains me a lot. Mondo Okpebholo cannot spend 5 naira of Edo State people's money without approval from Edo State people. Why did he do budget? He did budget to show, why did they do supplementary budget? They'll do budget to say, this is the money we want to spend. This is where we want to spend it in. Clearly stated. This one, we used to do this one. They will carry it and go and give to House of Assembly. House of Assembly, let me go and ask the Edo people. Because House of Assembly is supposed to be a microcosm of the larger macrocosm. It's supposed to represent your voice and my voice. So they will not carry the budget, they will not do public hearing. They will call us, we will sit and they will ask questions, we will speak, we will air our views. That's democracy. And they will not say, no, you can't spend this money like this. Cancel it. This money you put in education is too small. There are more disadvantaged areas in Edo North, Edo South, Edo Central. Or perhaps insecurity. How much are you budgeting for security? How are you going to spend the resources? Mondo Okpebholo and his handlers, his ministers, his commissioners, and heads of departments and agencies will come and defend. This is how we want to do it. And they'll say, okay, on the basis of this, how you want to spend it, go approve. As they go and implement, the House of Assembly will intermittently go there to monitor. What have you done? How much has come into the account? How much have you spent? The House was supposed to be a police dog. But today now they are the lap dog of Mondo Okpebholo. They go there. Anything Mondo Okpebholo do is, yes, sir. You are doing well. God bless you, sir. We are happy. Mondo Okpebholo, Governor Obaseki gave people financial autonomy before he left office. The House of Assembly, 24 members of the they are sharing about 2 billion every month. The speaker are not with their stomach. But after collecting that money, they are still ticking with their stomach. That makes it impossible for us to know where the direction is going. See, the police you put on ground to police the executive arm of government, that means another police to police the police. So that's what Assembly now has failed in carrying out legislative oversight, which is the most important part of this government structure. If you cannot go and check what the executive arm is doing, that leads to executive recklessness. They do everything and anything when the people ask them to do. When they wake up in the morning, people say, oh, people should cough. All of them will gather the assets there, they begin to cough. When they say smile, all of them begin to smile. When they say they have to borrow loan of 100 billion, they will say, yes, sir, borrow loan of 100 billion. There's no one thing. And there's one thing that Mondo Okpebholo has done. The House of Assembly has fought it. He says, no, sir, you can't do it. We saw the last Senate we had. Of course, we never had a better State House of Assembly. All of them have been weak. That's why Governor Obaseki said, let me give them autonomy so that they can think well. After giving them financial autonomy so that the executive cannot determine their salary or not, they still cannot think well. It's a shame.
Submitting that the State Assembly will not independently scrutinize the budget presented by Governor Mondo.
Oh, I'm saying so.
I say
it's not saying it will be. It has. There is proof. They should point to me one. You as a journalist, you cover those state governments every single day. Tell me one thing, that one instruction the House of Assembly has given to Mondo Okpebholo since he came to office 1 year, 1 year. One time on one basis they disagreed. One thing Mondo Okpebholo has. Oh, Mondo Okpebholo is a perfect being. Spends money perfectly. Allocates resources perfectly. No error, no comma, no oversight function. I saw them carrying out oversight the other day. They wore reflective vests. They put helmet in their head. They wore boots. They went to the Ramapla flyover. And they say, yes, we came to carry out oversight of the project. That's shameful. You are doing inspection. You are saying legislative oversight. Legislative oversight, you look at the books. You call the contractor how much has been paid. How much is the cost of this project. How much has been utilized. To what extent. You go and look at what we call the plan of this thing. The plan and the cash. They are not, but this one, they don't know, they don't look at paper, they don't look at money. They just go there to go and snap picture. To say when the flyover was being built, I was a member of the House of Assembly and we carried oversight. It's just for them, it's Photoshop. As Mondo Okpebholo is going there, entering the gutter, jumping erosion, wearing barefoot to investigate school. Those also want to have their own clip. For them, it's just political cosmetics. They are doing nothing. That's why in the next coming election, 2027, we make sure we put up people that have requisite competence and character to people the House of Assembly. Because that is the senior, that's the most senior arm of government. Legislature arm of government is more senior to the executive arm. But today it's like the younger brother is feeding the elder brother. And those ones do not have what it takes to midwife governance. What exactly, how many crowd of people have you heard? When Okpebholo looks and say, oh, I don't like this Moa. There's an issue of Moa. Hey, go investigate Moa. All of them will run out. Kitty. It's the committee. We're investigating Moa. Radisson Blue. Obaseki Aide. Go investigate. Okay. Presco. As Okpebholo attempted to revoke the land of Presco, what the House of Assembly do? When Okpebholo wants to revoke Presco, they'll be happy. When Okpebholo revoked it and published on the national dailies, and the presidency roared on him, what's wrong with you? What was happening? He quickly ran back, kitty. Went to suspend the. I know in this state, he went to suspend the man, the chairman of Edo GIS, and came out and said it's not the one. Something your signature was found. What did the House of Assembly do to investigate all of those inadequacies? When we came up to say this $250 million sham investment was a sham, the House of Assembly set up investigating panel to say, let's go investigate this investment to know how it happened, the money that was spent in kind of investment. I said they are perfect. The worst form of rubber stamp, there's no buzzword. That's why I just say it's pepper soup. Because rubber stamp, even stamp, but pepper soup can't stamp.
You're just diving from one issue to another.
No, I'm telling you about the budget. The budget concerns the House of Assembly and the government. And I'm giving you instances where the House of Assembly should have acted or perhaps preempted or jump-started government.
The government is projecting 160 billion IGR.
IGRO today is about 3.30 billion. They were even celebrating that they've not been collecting revenue for the past 4 months. And I just looked at them. I don't understand. A government that is serious about governance, say all the bus driver, the market women should be going by their trading. Because, first of all, Obaseki instituted a digital remuneration system that made it practically impossible for anybody to steal government funds. Government funds, from the woman that sells in the kiosk, straight into government accounts. Whether you are doing any form of lease or license, whether you are paying for any shop, rent, anything, straight to government account. Everything was on POS, straight to government account. It was a crime to collect money by hand. If you come to want to collect tax and I say, oh, I don't have transfer, let me pay by cash, and I give you something, you are a criminal. It's a criminal offense. But Okpebholo came aboard and disbanded all of those things, flushed them down the toilet, and now awarded Atalakpa Recovery Ventures. Are you not aware? Or is it me that all this I'm saying? When I say people will not be called calm as if I'm lying. Are you not of Atalakpa Recovery Ventures? As enforcer. Not to collect. Who is not collecting?
The state revenue.
No, who I don't understand. Who is enforcing for who? Okay, Atalakpa will enforce for who?
I think they're serving as security.
You see, that's the problem. When you bring non-state actor whose rules are not clearly defined, why was they not sacked? IGRO plummeted. Money started entering to the hands of Agbero. They started using to build hotels, to buy car, to build houses, to improve the lot of their lives. Many of them sent their children abroad. And one of Okpebholo said that this thing was not sustainable. We had to suspend them. If they are only enforcers, why did you not remove your enforcers? Who's not enforcing for you today? See, there's so much cluelessness within the corridors of power. And our only hope was that the House of Assembly would have risen to the occasion to. Okpebholo is not perfect. I don't blame him. It is the duty of the executive government to spend money as they think is good. But it's duty for the House of Assembly to call them to action. In your salary, you can spend it as you like. But you have children and you have family, you must cater for. Those are your responsibilities. Those are the ones that will call you to and say, no, daddy, you can't be doing this. It will not affect us. Something must call you to action. But the person that's supposed to call you to action is not the one cheering you on. And that's why we are heading to the rocks. If not, that federal allocation increased. The highest Obaseki ever received was about 12 or 13 billion thereabouts. Yes. Even about 9. It was when Obaseki entered government, about 5 billion was seen every month. It's not that 5 billion will pay salary of 2.5 billion. They had about 5 billion to manage to build road, to do infrastructure, to carry out all those many works. That's why the man was prudent. He practically refused to appoint any boards. He made sure that government was streamlined. For all people's money must work for the people. Mondo Okpebholo has saturated all the boards. They created about 3 new boards, loaded it with political cronies associates. Appointed commissioners overbloated. We now have 28 commissioners. Special advisors, they are over 40. That one is Sarah. SSC and the ASC, that one is rice and beans. They are sharing it to everybody. Whether you have result, whether you don't have result to, whether you have private school. There's someone in this government that has SSCE. He's a special advisor. I know him now. We say I'm an enemy of progress. I wanted to sack him. But just alive. But they should go and ask them if they didn't give SSC highest qualification or special advisor.
So you have the submission that the 160 billion naira projected IGR is unrealistic.
It's unrealistic until they go and start borrowing money for Chinese loan to cover those things up. The Chinese loan that will fund the budget.
Agriculture jumped from 6.9 billion naira to 57 billion naira.
You know, those in agriculture, I know there are things that are easy for you to eat money. When you want to loot money in government, there are areas and sectors that are relatively easy. For example, when some of the people went to go and harvest corn in his village farm, because that farm is in Udomi. I know you are not aware.
I'm aware.
That farm is in Udomi.
Covered it.
Yeah, the farm is in his. Udomi.
Yes.
The farm is in Udomi. His village farm. Abi.
Yes.
So he planted maize in his village farm and went to snap picture.
By the state government.
Oh, what's the proof? You have proof there's no state government. Who is this state government? Is this civil servants that are farming there, or is the farm on contract? When people think about government, I just feel irritated.
Who owns it?
I say it's Okpebholo's farm, not state government farm, and he went to snap picture in his farm and showed us picture. By next year, where is the farm located?
Is it because of the location?
Who was the land that they planted the farm? Have you gone there to see the day-to-day administration of the farm?
Honorable Dubai.
I'm telling you that it's Monday Okpebholo's farm. See, I'm alleged. Let them say it. Okay, it's Edo State government's farm. Okay, let's leave it at that. It's Edo State government's farm. Monday Okpebholo is Edo State government. But with the farm, impact the price of maize in Edo State. Have you done that correlation? Since Monday Okpebholo planted maize and he harvested it last month, what is now the price of maize in Edo State today? Has it affected the life of the common man? That's how you know that it's government maize or not government maize. Because if government does something, the impact of government interventions is to subsidize, to increase the welfare of the people. If the welfare of the people is not improved, then it's not government intervention. It's a private intervention, perhaps a sham. Because if you do something to make your life better, if it doesn't make your life better, it's a sham. True or false? If it doesn't government goes into agriculture and the agricultural benefit does not show in the life of Nigeria, there's a sham. Today, price of rice has gone down. Whether you like it or not, I'll still give credit to federal government. If the people have planted rice, that will say because of that one, the rice went down. True or false? But today, rice is better than it was last Christmas. So the maize, has the maize improved? Did it affect your life? Is there anybody here, don't say today, that can come out and say, because of Monday Okpebholo's farm, this is how my life has improved? See, let us not be deceiving ourselves. There are many cosmetic people do that. If you do not address it at the board, it's as if all of us here don't have sense. That's when Nigeria is where it is today. The government will tell you they have spent so billions in doing this. And we just hear them and we appreciate them because they have spent money. We don't interrogate, we don't ask questions. We don't care to know what is the impact of what they've done. That's the truth. If I slap you in your face now, the thing begins to sweet you, as it gives you sensation. That slap is not negative, it's a positive slap. True of us. But I should pat you on your back, and the thing hurts you. Is the impact of government action that we should focus on, not necessarily what they do. Government actions and the impact of their action. So if government invests 2 billion in agriculture, and agricultural product does not rise, it does not increase the wealth of Nigerian people, it does not impact Nigeria or it does the economy, then it's a sham. It's as good as digging the hole and burying the money. That's my submit. That's how I look at government. Because whenever I do something, if it does not have an impact, I don't do it.
Question is 57 billion naira that is allocated to agriculture. You failed.
Are you aware that Edo State government now has 8 bulldozers? 8. The commission 3 the first time. The commission ordered 5 the last time Okpebholo came. What is it going to be 8 bulldozers? You know, 8 bulldozers we need. Let me explain to you. See, people don't really understand this thing. This is not a payload that I used to pack there too. Bulldozer is one used to level land for that deforestation. A bulldozer, to maintain a bulldozer, you know the cost? To carry a bulldozer from one place to another, from just to carry bulldozer from Edo State to Edo North is about 700,000. To hire a low bed. Bulldozer can't move by itself. They have to carry. So when you have 7 bulldozers, you now have to have like 5 or 4 low bed that will transport them up and down, carry from one place. So what is the Edo State government doing? Which community are they opening? They say they will use it in dump sites, that they have dump sites, they are pushing waste. How many dump sites do we have in Edo State that will now need 8 bulldozers? Guess what? These bulldozers were bought at exorbitant sums. But guess what? If you look at it, they are all Chinese bulldozers. None of them is CAT. None of them is Komatsu. None of them is any responsible. All of them are Shanshu, Chunwa, Kapun, Puntuan. Bulldozer that does not have spare parts. Bulldozer, no, I'm telling you now, go and listen. I saw one Shangxin. I saw one Kampu. No name, no parts. People that want to repair bulldozer, they are not yet born. Just simple spark plug. They'll go and pack the bulldozer there. Then later, I say, we bought it brand new. It was poor maintenance. I'm telling you, this is a bulldozer that people used to do experiments in one university in China. They will buy it, I'll bring it, and say, we bought it brand new. When is a 10-hand bulldozer? Then I say it was poor maintenance that made it go down this slope. All this is there. See, I'll see government over and over. When some government is serious, you will know. When they're also not serious, you also know. 8 bulldozer with about 30 tractors, and yet it's government farm. Who is operating 30 tractors? Which farm are they deployed to? Call 2 government farm apart from the Udomi farm you know of. Apart from Udomi or the Okpebholo's village farm, which other farm do you know of? That they are going to be deployed 30 bulldozers, 8 bulldozers, 30 tractors. And those people just proceed in ignorance. We hear something, I will clap for it. Then one Shedakutu Gba to always be the one saying it. So another Shedakutu Gba is enemy of government. But we say what I see because I know governance. I know what government ought to be. Whether it's doing well, it's not doing well, it's left for the people to decide. But those agricultural interventions, I see them as sham. I will lead nowhere. Practically nowhere. If it's somewhere, I will let you know.
Now, let me ask you this question. If you were in this government today, tell me 3 things you will immediately do to change the 2026 budget of hope and growth.
First of all, I do not thrive in lies. I don't thrive in lies and propaganda.
Just 3.
I will put a realistic figure to those figures. Those are not realistic. IGRO, I've never made IGRO of 13 billion naira monthly. Why will I not go and put 160 billion in a year? It's a lie. It's self-deceit. FAC allocation has never even got it to 30 billion once. He has not got it to 25 once. How do I not project 40 billion? Am I a criminal? PPC partnership, I've not secured any. Since in 1 year you did, last year, what did you secure? Ask him. Your PPP you secure, how much was it? You didn't secure PPP up to 50 million, 50 billion, 20, 10 billion, 20 billion. You are putting 164 billion. Those things are not realistic. Because he is failing, he does not want us to know there's failing, he's showing up those figures. Second, you see this, the appointees of government. Many of them are extremely redundant. How can you have a commissioner and commissioner for justice, attorney general and commissioner for justice, and yet you have a special advisor on legal affairs? The guy does not have work. No wonder the Adazen one time went to be awarding someone that slapped up at Obaze on social media. He does not have a job, he does not have a work. That's political redundancy. There are many of them. Commissioner for livestock. Which livestock is in Edo State? Is it the goat farm at Silokoro, those women that sell goats? Or is it the cow at Aduwawa? Or is it the chickens I'm in my house that the man wants to superintend over? Edo State does not have livestock. So you want to superintend over the livestock of other people's livestock? Tell them how to sell it, how to manage it. You don't have a commission for it. We're supposed to be a small department under the Ministry of Agric. Commissioner of Agric will just create a small desk office should the case they have interventions. When you have ADP. See, all this over-bloated office, political redundancy, those things are the second things you will address. Many hype men who are embarrassing the state in different corners. You take them to Osun, take them to Ekiti, take them to Abuja, they are continuing. And those states now is a state of ridicule. It's not the best for our public image.
We're talking about the budget. How does that connect the budget?
They will fund them with the budget now. Any kind of recurrent expenditure. The money I use to is to fund these people I'm calling. Those redundant, political redundant, is to fund them. They used to fund the people who are shouting, do shani. They will fund those redundant offices. That also made the budget swell because it's much redundancy in government. So they are funding cluelessness and ineptitude with you and our money, our state resources. That's why when you transfer money today now, they will remove 15 naira. They will go and give it to Okpebholo. When you want to buy food, first supposed to be 200 naira, they will charge you 700 naira. They will give the rest to Abunoti. They will give to Okpebholo to help you. But yet you're not seeing the help. That's why you're suffering. Life is hard. Your salary, when you divide it now, after you pay transport and feed, there's nothing left to live life. Your colleague in other nations, they used to go for vacation. After this guy will go and rest. You can't go, you can't try it. Vacation 1 month. Poverty will catch you and I. That's why I finish right now. I'll go to the farm. I'll go and farm cocoyam. Now I farm cocoyam for my family to feed. If I don't farm cocoyam one day, family cannot feed the next day. Nigerians are living for hard to mouth. Nigeria is the highest place where people living with no access to electricity.
You mean for shouting, though it's shining, they get paid?
Yeah, they get over 1 million. I have it over that they are paid on the back of 1 million every month. Can you use 150 for J Shani? Yes. Yes. They have support from God, direct support from government. And they are earning far better than you. Their morale is high. That's the truth. That's the one can shout for no reason.
Is this verifiable?
You know when you talk about this verifiable. You keep making look as have you ever said I could buy pedal rumors or have truth? I said those guys are heavily funded. Monopolo's government is heavily funded. There's resources that goes round. Monopolo that called the woman in the crowd. Has anybody watched football here? Has anybody watched football here? The woman said raise up and the woman came out. Use the video. How much you give the woman? Say it to your man. How much did you dash the woman? 5 million. If I don't say government are poorly funded, if I'm your age and you're dashing one woman who just said I watched football before, the man didn't say anything. 5 million. Then what next? My brother gifted Isayamu's wife when she became a FCMD 2.5 billion. He said they should take to build wherever they like. So when you are saying, so just let all deceive ourselves.
So her or the institution?
Why did they give them? Well, the institution not existing for when the came to office. But because she came as CMD, they tried to show support and solidarity. When you give money to the church, is it not the pastor first that know? You go to any church and you drop your money and walk away. You must know the pastor. You give to the pastor in an attempt to give to God. True of us. That's why I donate. Now, people, I don't know why people like looking at me.
You give tithes, is it for the pastor?
It's true the pastor to God. It's because I believe the pastor to God.
You are gifting the church.
Listen to me.
You are gifting God
through the pastor.
Church,
through the pastor. No, listen to me. The church,
not the pastor.
The church don't spend money. Church don't eat money. Church is a human being that runs the church. It's the human being first I trust. I first of all have to believe in the person if I believe in God. It's through the person I believe in God. You drop your money, you go to that church behind you, just throw your money there. That's why enter motor to pastor Baba. Just do it. To your pastor. To God. Who receive it? Is it God that receive it or the pastor receive it?
Any church.
Any church.
Yes.
There's a church in Mars. Your next church. Can you bring it there?
Of course. Of course.
You know that's wrong with Nigeria. Nigerians like self-deceit.
No, it's not deceit.
You pay your offering to God through a pastor.
Anyway, let's leave that conversation aside. So continue. What other thing are you going
to I say, aside that, then you see, I can't say change Governor Okpebholo. What I would do is to change Governor Okpebholo. Maybe just retire him and get somebody else, because that's the bane of the problem. The summary of all these things begins and ends with Governor Okpebholo. If the man knows better, he will perform better. The only people that can correct him are the House of Assembly. All those his aides, commissioner, special advisor, all of them, they are all his cronies and associates. They can't tell him he's wrong. They can't advise him, sir, this you are doing is not good. Do the public will react negatively. But the Okpebholo is not open to constructive criticism. So those people he are appointed, he has handpicked, cannot correct him. That's why the constitution made it possible for him to have a House of Assembly. Now, Governor Okpebholo does not pay their salary. Governor Okpebholo does not decide whether they feed or not. Governor Okpebholo does not decide whether they are suspended or not. Those are the ones that are supposed to be telling Okpebholo, sir, this you are doing is not correct. No, you can't do it like this, you can't do it like this. But today they are sleeping on the job. So there's nothing I can do. Governor Okpebholo is going to do what he please. Unless the assembly permits it.
So you feel that
I told people we just is heading for the road. You just have to manage what we have. There's no solution. The only solution is to Okpebholo should resign. And give governance to someone that's more competent.
Honorable Dubai, you should realize that you are talking to a sitting state governor.
I just said she resign about it.
He should resign over what?
His inability to lead. People resign.
He's incapable.
Yes, that's what I think.
Okay. Edo State's budget, 939.85 billion naira, has been presented by Governor Okpebholo. 2026 budget. It has been presented. We've heard from Comrade Dubai, who believes that it's unrealistic. But let's just hope that it's realistic.